Alrighty. So, here we are playing some Memoriapolis. Now, this game came out, I believe, around 3 or 4 days before recording this, and it is an incredibly charming little game. I've had a lot of fun playing it for the past like 2 or 3 days. Really, really cool. And today I wanted to sort of show some of the things that I've learned and try and create like a really nice big city. So, let's get into a new game here. Your destiny, having left your ancestral lands to build your own city, what future awaits you? Now, the first city that I tried to make, sort of attempting to emulate something like Rome, and I went with strategist here, and the first playthrough that I did went really, really well, but something that I learned was that actually politician is a pretty good destiny to follow here. So, politicians must lead by example and unite their people. The greater the number of his opponents, the greater his success. Okay. 2 additional decrees can be issued simultaneously, and the cost is reduced by around a third. So that's really quite good, and I'll get into what it is that I like about the politician once that arises. As for my names here, I'm not like the most creative person, so we're just gonna keep it something simple. We'll go with the unicorn, a golden unicorn at that. What is this? Ah. I really like the way that this looks here. Yes, I think that looks fine. Let's go here. I do want to make this outline black. Okay, cool. So that all looks good to me. Coat of arms. Now, getting into where we should set up our first little settlement here. From what I've noticed, it seems pretty doable to set up literally anywhere. But I do kind of want to choose somewhere that I think will look nice. Potentially, the first place that I set up was around here, and I might try and do this again, honestly. Let's look at our ancient camp. Do some rotating. Now you might notice that there's a bunch of little like red and gray and red and black little marks all over the place, and these are road connections. So as we can see off to the right of our building here, it's trying to connect to the main road, and then below the building it's also trying to connect to the main road. On top of the building it's actually trying to connect way up here. So there's going to be all sorts of different roads spawning, and then I believe, yeah, there's another road connection way over here that it's trying to go for. You know what, I think this might be a better spot for us, honestly. Yes, I think we're actually going to go here, somewhere around here. Yeah, I really like the way that this is looking. So let's do this spot. I know that there's clay in this marsh out in the swamp, so let's go ahead and set up somewhere sort of close enough to be able to get all of that nice clay. Go ahead and start our cycles here. And of course, with a lot of strategy games, especially when you're trying to learn, I always recommend playing on the slowest settings and pausing a lot, just so you can adequately understand a lot of the different things. So first things first, we're going to want a small farm. Now, just like that, let's go ahead and set up here. I always like bumping this up to the maximum number of linked fields. It's going to require more workers, but you're going to get more fields out of it. I don't really see any reason why you'd want less than that, so let's go ahead and max it out. And yes, so let's set up all of our production first and foremost. Let's go ahead and do a small quarry. We're going to need stone, and it looks like we do have some up here. But before the stone... No, we're going to need stone right away. We're actually unable to reach up here and get a lot of this stone. We will endeavor to solve this problem. Let's go ahead and set up a wood chopping place here. If we hit 6 while we're hovering over a quarry, we can get a sense of what we can and what we can't build. Hit 4 to go back. And yeah, it's like just in the reds out here. You know what? I think we might just take the 60 stone. We can always just deconstruct this building. Yes. So, definitely not the most ideal setup for this building, but we will put it in a much better spot as time comes on. Or actually, you know what? We can get surveyor cabins now. Yes. I wish I could have actually not gone through with that construction. It's fine though. We will deal with it. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and press play finally, let all this get built up. Surveyor cabins, yeah, just one cabin like right around here would have been perfect. Let's go ahead and... I mean, we might as well set it up here. Let's go ahead and build that on up. Cool. So we can come over here, get clay. I reckon that there's gonna be some sand down here. Hopefully we're not doomed for sand. Wouldn't be amazing. Cultural influence. So by increasing your cultural influence, every point you earn increases your city's cultural influence on the rest of the world. The greater your cultural influence, the more the best architects of their time will want to settle there, impacting your history for centuries to come. Okay, cool. Decrease in blueprints needed to unlock wonders by 0%. Okay. So I have made it up to, I believe, here, the Polius. I haven't really made it too much further than that. Trust bonus, wonders bonus. Okay, cool. So, in trying to make a very, very large city, I do want to try and construct every single wonder. Probably won't get every one of them finished, but I do want to get as many as possible. So let's go ahead and deconstruct the quarry. No, we need 6 workers. Now, you can... Okay, so, getting into it. These are districts. Districts will randomly spawn around, and you actually can never deconstruct them. However, let's say you wanted to save space in the middle of your town for just some other buildings, or maybe for like a later age, and you wanted to have an area that was a bit open, sort of near the center. You can build a bunch of farms there, and then as time comes, you can deconstruct all of these farms, move the farms sort of out further, and then you'll have a bunch of open area. So that's why my first farm, I do want to build it right next to our ancient camp. So that way we have all this space here, we can build up districts and stuff all throughout here, including our cultural buildings once we unlock them, and then once we want more space, we can just deconstruct all of this. So let's go ahead and deconstruct this now. 10 cycles, that's fine. Small quarry, this one's getting way more. Needs to be outside of the rocky area though. 2,000, 2,700, we'll take that. Good enough. Okay, so that's fine. So around the same time, it should be finished anyways. So, the reason that we want to go with the politicians is because they will actually have a decree for us that increases our immigration rate, which increases the amount of workers that we get, which will be very good for expanding our town as quickly as possible. Yeah, we just need 90 people in total, 90 inhabitants, so it's just a bit of waiting there. Another really nice thing about the farms is they will actually deconstruct huge swaths, I guess chop down huge swaths of forest. So if we were to put a farm around here and all of this area nearby was taken, then they would deconstruct, they would chop down all of these trees, and that would allow us to very quickly chop down large swaths for potential future endeavors, which would be really nice. So here we go, and it's always a good idea to try and research your quarries, because they're going to, once they have their improvements, they're going to greatly have a lot more stone and clay and all sorts of stuff that they can reach. So that'll be really good as time comes. Let's go ahead and level up our encampment. Very good. So all of this initial stuff, very straightforward. You just throw down some production buildings and you're off to the races. So what we're going to want to focus on is getting only political factions in our little settlement here. And so I'll get into how that's going to work for us. We start with 2,500 blueprints. That's pretty nice. So we're going to, hopefully rather quite quickly, start chewing through that. Chapter 1 rewards, we get all of our first cultural buildings, and we also get the architectural office. Now, like strategy games go, your architectural building is pretty much like your research. So it's very important to get it early on. It's also very important to upgrade it as soon as possible. So we will focus on that as time comes. And for now, let's go ahead and get the upgrade for our quarries here. Let's go ahead and purchase that. 200 wood, pretty cheap, and it's going to drastically increase the efficiency of our quarries. As for our cultural buildings, let's go ahead and pick up the first political one, the forum. Go ahead and purchase that. And we're going to want to go through and get pretty much everything. So our forum is going to give us the little heart, which is esteem satisfaction. And so what the numbers mean is every single person in your population needs some of these satisfactions. So we have 106, so that means that we need 106 health satisfaction, 106 safety satisfaction. We need 106 for each of these, and as your population grows, then you're going to want to get more and more satisfactions. So let's go ahead and throw down our architectural building first and foremost. I do kind of want to move it a bit out of the ways here. Actually, let's put down... No, we can't put down our forum yet. We need a bit more stone. Yeah, architectural building, very, very important to get early on. So let's go ahead and endeavor to put this, I reckon around here is probably fine. Very, very important. So there we go with that. And we're getting esteem from our cultural building once we build it. So esteem will be taken care of, at least for a while. So let's go ahead and probably do safety. I do like the idea of safety. So forum, we'll put on safety. And then we can do... Let's see what this one gives us. This is, I believe, health. So let's go ahead and pick that up, I reckon. Let's see what gives the most attraction, if anything gives something different. No, they all give the same amount of attraction. So let's go ahead and just buy this one, keep it simple. And so this one will give us health. And I reckon it's probably a good idea. Let's do safety on this one as well. So health and safety. So we'll have 2 on safety. And then for the last one, we can do belonging and creativity. So either belonging or creativity for our last building here. We can do this one up here. This seems fine, because it's going to give us our belonging, and for the second one we can choose creativity, and that will be good. Cool, so everything's looking up. We just need to try and get a forum down. Alrighty. So there we go. Sometimes the game crashes, kind of unfortunate, but we can very quickly regain our position. Let's go ahead and put the architectural building back down. Perfect. Okay. So now, all we're waiting for is for... we're trying to get some very attractive land. Once we put down our forum, we should reach that, which we need 187 stone. We just got the upgrade for our small quarries. All we need is the 200 wood. And as you can see, 2,600 stone is what they have access to. And this number will fly up very greatly once we actually set up this improvement, and that'll be very, very nice for us. Let's go ahead and wait until we get the 187 stone before we try and build or do the upgrade, because I think while it's improving, this building won't actually function. So we'll just give it a little bit of time. Make sure that we have everything we need. Build a cultural building, sure thing, coming up. 2 more cycles, I believe. Cool. So now, looking at our districts, right? We have one here, one here, one here. And if we hover the forum around, we can see that it's going to actually influence these nearby districts, which is a pretty important mechanic of this game. And so let's go ahead and put the forum here, right? And we're going to go with safety. Safety is really important. On one of my playthroughs, I was kind of disregarding some of the satisfactions, and safety seemed like pretty much the most important because it's really going to stagnate your progress if a lot of these incidents are happening. Fires and people robbing stuff and disease. It's really going to slow down people moving into your settlement. And so we always want to make sure at least safety's up high. Everything else, I'll kind of do as much as I can. Creativity is also really good because it's going to give blueprint production bonus, which is, you know, really good. So there's that. We're building our first cultural building. Let's go ahead and press play. Now, so a big thing about setting up our cultural buildings is that we want to influence every single district with our buildings that give the political faction culture, right? So we want to go with politicals all over the place. We want to influence all of them at least once, and then every other cultural building we're not really worried about where they are. We're not really trying to influence people towards these other factions, and we're not going to actually even accept them into districts. We're only going to accept the political factions. And so I'll get into why that's important. Well, I guess I can talk about it now. Once you actually set up decrees, the factions that are living amongst your population will actually vote on them. And getting a lot of the same factions allows you to very easily pass decrees that those factions will support. And so we want to do political decrees, at least for this first era. I haven't gone too much into the later eras, but for the first zone, or for like the first age, I really like the political faction. So let's go ahead and pause it while I sort of sit here and think about what we're doing. Cool. Create 4 cultural districts. So we just need to create some cultural districts. Let's go in and look if we get any more buildings. No, we still only have the forum. Let's go ahead and unlock, I reckon, the Horam here. Ginormous storage area, very good to put down. So we'll endeavor to put that down as soon as possible. And let's start grabbing some of this clay, because we're going to need it eventually anyways. Cool. So we can set this up somewhere around here-ish. Yeah, we're getting around 3,000 right here, so let's go ahead and do that. Focus on the clay, of course. We don't quite have the 200 wood needed. Oh wow, look at that. This will let you... I wasn't sure if this is how it was previously. Hovering over these will show you where the deposits are. That's really nice to see. Cool. An attractive land, and so these two right here, as you can see, district culture, political, but this one over here doesn't have any culture, so we would want to maybe wait for another district to pop up here and then put a new cultural building here. I don't want to build too many of the forums. They're a pretty massive building, so we'd rather wait for later smaller buildings. Architectural office, hopefully there's enough room here for another district, and hopefully we surround this area with some more and more districts. That'll be really nice. So before we actually build something like the ceramic workshop and stuff, I do want to make sure that we fully upgrade our small quarry. So we'll give it a bit of time. Oh, just like that, we get yet another district. And as we can see, this one's also going to be political. That is perfect. Boom, just like that, we have the 200 wood. Let's go ahead and get the improvement for the stone. And it was at like 2,500 stone. Now it has access to almost 10,000 stone, which is really, really good. Very good. And we'll do the exact same thing with this small quarry over here. It'll probably push it maybe around 10,000 for the clay as well. Very nice to see. And as for our other cultural buildings, I do want to set them sort of up in the periphery of this forum here. Potentially somewhere like right here, or just somewhere where there's going to leave room for a district. but it'll kind of encourage people to move in between the two cultural buildings. That's what I'm aiming for here. So nice, 10,000 stone at our disposal. I don't really like upgrading your actual cutting camps because they take 200 stone, which I think isn't great. You could just build more cutting camps. I think that's probably a better idea, although that will start to eat into your amount of workers. And workers are actually disposable. Once you actually use the workers, they're like, that's it, they're done. They're going to be tied up in these buildings forever. This building mobilizes 6 workers, so this quarry here takes 6 of our workers and they just hold on to them forever. Another forum, not really what we're looking for. We should probably set up yet another quarry, something that can get us actually sand is what we're looking for. So let's hover over the sand. We can see there's some sand down here, not a whole lot. But maybe what we end up doing is another proximity, another surveyor. Potentially this spot right here could do well. Let's go ahead and do that. Give it a bit of time and we can hopefully set up a nice quarry down here on the beach. Must be outside of a body of water. Yeah, right here. That'll be perfect. So we have stone, we have clay, and then we'll have sand right after this. Not a whole lot of sand, but something's better than nothing. We can upgrade this one as well. Gather as much sand as possible. Wait for the improvement here. Go ahead and pick this up. Just less for us to have to worry about. More clay for them to gather for the foreseeable future. Ceramic workshop, you know what? I think we're actually going to put this down before that. Let's go ahead and place it, I reckon, around here is fine. I like the way that looks. So we're doing satisfaction on this one. We're doing health. And I think we're going to do safety for this one. Keeping safety up is really important. Yes. And then with the last building, we're doing belonging and creativity. Cool, cool, cool. Maybe we wait for this last building here. Yeah, that's probably going to be our best bet. Cool, yeah. We're going to need the belonging and creativity. So let's go ahead and do that first. Let's go into our ×2 speed. We got the carpenter and the carver, and here we have our first actual faction moving in, so very good to see. Let's go ahead and accept them. They are, oh nice, moving on up very quickly. They are a political faction, part of the politicals, so that's very good for us. And we actually have access to the next set of buildings, so let's go ahead and pick up this next political building. Go ahead and accept that. We could try and get this next. And we have the stone for this, the wood. Kind of, but let's give it a bit of time. Belonging. Oh, you know what? I didn't do this correctly. We unlocked the wrong building. Sort of unfortunate, but I reckon it'll be fine. Yeah, this one was supposed to be for belonging, so we needed either the Agoge Center for belonging, or we needed the building that'll give us the other one, which is, let's see if we can find it. Let's see what this one does. This gives us esteem as well. We need creativity. So the Agoge Center gives us creativity, and the Asclepium gives us the belonging. So belonging or creativity, and we'll go with belonging, honestly. I don't think it matters too much, but we're going to need another 500 of our blueprints. Kind of unfortunate that I made a mistake, but I don't think that it'll affect us too harshly. And we're also going to need wooden beams, so let's go ahead and actually unlock that building first. we're going to want the carpenter. So it's going to take 500. So kind of a bit worried. I would rather, yeah, we're gonna have to do the satisfactions first. I think that's more important. So right now we're at an impasse. We're waiting for more blueprints to show up, and we could either spend these on getting our satisfactions up. If I wouldn't have made that mistake, we wouldn't have had to worry about this right now. Or we can spend the blueprints getting the building that we need to move forward, the carpentry. And it would be really nice if we could move forward and get the carpentry building, but I think we're just going to have to wait it out. Let's go ahead and spend some time improving our quarries then in the meantime. As you can see, now they have access to 5,000 clay, which is really good. And once we upgrade this, hopefully they have more than 700 sand. Trade with the outside world, fortifying the city. Something really nice about the farms as well is if we go to try and build like a wall, we could do something like this, and all of this farmland will actually be used up, and then we can demolish the farms and we'll have room for more districts inside of our walls, our initial walls. So that's really quite nice. Cool. So now this is upgraded, and we should look to upgrade this at some point pretty soon as well. It's probably going to be a good idea to get down a second woodcutter, so let's go ahead and do that first. I reckon we can do this one out here. That's probably fine. Cool, cool, cool. Chopping down more trees. We're going to use these two to supply our carver with its necessary wood for wooden beams. So that'll be good. Let's go into fast forward for just a bit of time here. Cool, so now we have 2 wood gathering buildings. Let's go ahead and pause this, get the improvement for this building as well. Back into ×3. Oh, moving a little too fast. Let's go ahead and get our cultural building. So let's go ahead and grab, not the Agoge Center, let's do this one. This is giving us the correct satisfaction. We needed belonging. So let's go ahead and do that. Cultural, and we need this one here, a bit more wood. So 120 something, or 120 will do. 112 is what we need. And there we go. So let's go ahead and move this on down. I reckon that here is good enough. I want to leave room in this area for another district to spawn. So we'll do something like this, I reckon's fine. And we got the belonging. Let's do creativity now. Perfect. So that is what we needed. Now we just need a couple more blueprints. Upgrading your agriculture or your architectural building is, I would say, one of the most important. So we need both the carver as well as the carpentry building. So we'll endeavor to unlock those and get those up and running as soon as possible. So nice. Numbers are looking really good. We got lots of stone, got lots of wood, and clay and sand. Very, very good for us. Just like that, we have the necessary points for this. So let's go ahead and unlock carpentry. Unlock that. And let's put down the carpentry building. I like kind of getting more industrial buildings sort of bunched up and out of the way. So let's go ahead and build that over here. Cool. So now we need another 500, and we can unlock the carver. Just like this, we have another political faction. Part of the political cultural group again. Perfect. And if we get any other cultural factions trying to move in, we're not going to accept them. They have to be part of the political faction. So those are the only ones we're accepting. And it looks like almost everyone is being influenced by this forum here, which is really good to see. This district over here is not. This district, and then I believe there's this district. So 3 districts aren't being influenced by them. But that's fine. And just like that, we can get our hands on a carver. Cool, very good. And let's go ahead and place down our carver again, sort of over here in like the more industrial zone. Something out of the way. Just like that. Perfect. Cool, Ancient City Center Improvement. Let's go ahead and pause the game, start that on up. Now, what I'm curious about is how many points do we need? How many blueprints are we going to need for the upgrade for our architectural office? So we need 500 in total, and then some resources which we can very swiftly gather and craft. So we're waiting for another 500 blueprints, and then we only need 10 rubles and 10 wooden beams. So very easy to get. Chapter 7 rewards. Let's go ahead and accept that. I want to pause it. We're running into food issues, so let's go ahead and throw down a small farm very quickly. I do like the idea of building one up here because it's going to start cleaving down all of the forest up there. And then honestly, we could probably do yet another one over here, so let's go ahead and do that as well. Push the numbers up again. Go into times 3. One more blueprint, and we'll have the necessary blueprints for the architectural building. Architectural offices upgrade. So let's go ahead and unlock this. And let's see about upgrading this. Perfect. So next up, I want to save up the blueprints for actually upgrading our small farms. That'll be pretty important. It just makes them more efficient. I think that it's always a good idea to try and upgrade buildings before building more of them. I'm not sure how good of an idea that is, but that is what I'm going to be aiming to do. And here we have a religious faction trying to move in, so instantly decline that, and that's fine. Oh no, we're just going to choose this one here. I don't like the fact that you can't pause the game while like pop-ups pop up. That's kind of annoying, but that's fine. So we're at -20. I've actually never seen it go into the negatives. That's kind of weird. Oh, it's because we're actually giving other people our food with that decision that I made. But now we're starting to climb back up. That's good. That's all we wanted to see. Building farms everywhere. That's fine though. We'll just expand out into this plains as far as we can. We have the necessary blueprints for small farm upgrade. Let's go ahead and grab that. Services, we can try and unlock this Senate House next. So that's what we'll aim for, and we'll build it over here. The Senate House will actually influence people towards the political faction as well. So that'll be very good. And let's see, yeah, so we'll try and unlock that next. We also have access to the Thermae, another cultural building in the political faction group. We also have access to the Tilery and Brickworks. So lots and lots of stuff that we're aiming for. Let's do the Senate first. And then we'll do Senate first, and then we'll go ahead and get the Tilery and the Brickworks after that. So Senate first. That's what we're aiming for. Fortifying the city, we can maybe potentially look to doing that now. Let's go ahead and up the rounding. Let's decrease the distance. I do kind of like the way that that looks. We're going to need quite a bit more wood though. Yeah, I'm not opposed to this. This looks pretty good to me. So let's put down the Horaeum. Observes, manage the city storages. So let's go ahead and do that next. Let's see, 19 workers is all we're looking for. Cool. We actually have research points for the Senate as well, so let's go ahead and pick that up. And let's look what we're going to need for that 30 workers, and we have everything else that we need for it. Okay, perfect. Now I'm hoping that this is going to allow us to actually have an increased amount of storage. That's what I'm hoping for. The Senate is actually going to be really important to get sooner rather than later, so maybe we'll go for the Senate, yes. We'll wait for the 30 workers that we need, because that's going to allow us to pass the decree that will allow us to have people move in sooner. We'll go ahead and accept this gift, that's fine. Another religious faction trying to move in. This is sort of stagnating my progress, having to decline these guys, because if they were all political, then we would be moving forward just a bit quicker. Because right now what we're aiming for is trying to have, I believe... No, okay. I'm mistaken. Boom, just like that we can build our Senatus. And I do want to build it. I don't really like this too much. Maybe we should just build it somewhere around here. So before we get into building that, let's go ahead and build a surveyor cabin. I think right here will be fine. Cultural buildings, we got a free one. And we have the points for another upgrade. Let's look into what I wanted to get. I was going to do the tilery, so let's go ahead and grab that. Cool. Go ahead and hit play again. So we're almost 400 cycles in, and we haven't even gotten close to building a wonder yet, but hopefully we can turn that around pretty soon. Cool. So there's that, and we should be able to build our Senate around here somewhere. I'm gonna build it right around here. I'm just trying to imagine how districts are going to be forming. So one will probably form around here. They can't be constructed like across a road. As you can see, there's a road here. So this area will probably be another district, and then potentially another one here. So let's go ahead and do something like this. I think this will be fine. Let's actually rotate it like this. Give them a bit of space. Perfect. Let's go ahead and do that. Nice, so we get some for things here. Let's do safety. We're getting esteem, and then let's do health, I reckon. Well, no, not health. Let's do creativity. Perfect, so let's go ahead and let that get constructed on up. And now we just need more workers. But with the Senate, we will be able to increase our immigration rates. So that'll really help out. As you can see, our current limiting factor is the amount of workers that we have for a lot of our buildings. So that's really the main reason that we can't construct anything, but we can get down our tilery. So let's go ahead and throw this somewhere a bit out of the way. That looks like a good spot to me. Senate is finished. Let's open the panel up, and now we can come down to external recruitments. We need at least 4 factions. So we'll give it a bit of time, and then we will pass our first decree. Cultural influence, good. Once we have enough blueprints, then we're going to unlock the next building the brickworks. And let's look into what we should be building. So we have the tilery down. Let's go ahead and focus on potentially the next building here. We'll do this one, I believe. Probably be a good idea. We can't deconstruct the surveyor cabin, which is kind of annoying, but that's okay. It is sort of kind of just sitting here, being a bump on the log, but that's fine. We need something for health and belonging soon. Let's look at our options. Creativity. Health. We could do this building here. We could get health on it and then do belonging. The forum. Belonging, creativity. Could also be good, but we'll do this building next. Cool, cool, cool. We unlocked our next production building, the brickworks. Cool. There's not any more upgrades that I can really imagine that we're going to need. We did get the small farms upgrades previously, so let's go ahead and spend some of our wood on that. Let's just improve all of them. That'll be fine. We actually don't have, I believe, the workers for this, so it's pretty important that we start getting more and more political factions moved in sooner rather than later. Let's go ahead and put down yet another cultural building then for that. The Hellay. That is kind of a tough thing to say. 21 workers is what we're looking for. Another religious faction trying to move in. Kind of a shame that we have to decline so many. Can really stagnate our progress, and I think for the rest of our blueprints we're just going to be trying to save them up. We could also look to try and improve this. We need bricks. We unlocked the brick building, the brickworks. Let's go ahead and place that as well. Can do this one here. I reckon that's fine. Cool. Decorative, we got the area. That's fine though. We could actually put this down somewhere to try and get people to move in a bit more around the area. And I think that's actually what we're going to try and do. Cultural forum, this building here, 21 workers, what we're looking for. Go ahead and pause it, and let's construct this. I reckon that here is going to be a good spot, because it'll have a lot of nearby areas for potential districts. Let's see, we get esteem from this. Let's go ahead and do health, I reckon is fine. And then let's go ahead and set up the area once we have 7 workers for it. Cool, we can improve our city center again. Let's go ahead and do that. Or well, you know what, before we do that, let's go ahead and get the area down. I like that. And let's go ahead and get this improvement underway. Cool, so things are looking pretty good. We have all the resources that we could possibly need. We got bricks, we got everything coming in. Let's look at what we're going to need to improve our architectural office. We just need 500 stone currently. And 90 workers. Okay, that's a lot of workers for one building. That's okay. Yeah, this building here is like really a thorn on my side. It's getting a lot of... Yeah, look at that. Nothing but... What's it called? It's religious factions trying to move in. That is fine though. Well, not really. It's sort of wasting a lot of our cycles. We're just having to sit around and wait. Which definitely isn't ideal. I believe we only have 1 faction. Oh, we have 2. Cool. Okay, so we only need 2 more. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. City's looking pretty good. All of these districts over here are potentially going to give us the proper factions that we're needing, that we're wanting. While we're sitting here, let's go ahead and put down this building. Maybe it's a good idea to sort of have it over here near our, like, more industrial areas. I like this spot. Let's go ahead and put that down. Oh, nice, and this gives us additional things. It's going to give us safety. Let's go ahead and do belonging. And let's do safety. Sorry, it's going to give us health. We can do belonging and then safety. So those are some pretty good decisions for us there. Oh, nice. The Haram's finished. That's good. Does this give us... Yeah, it does give us a lot more storage areas. So now, let's see what we're looking at when we come look at this. The 865. I do kind of like the way that this all looks. I think we're going to accept this. Let's go and decline those guys. 865. Just a bit more wood. Perfect. Let's go ahead and get that underway. I like the way that all looks. Faction installation. Let's go ahead and close that. Back into ×3 here. Cutting camp. Let's go ahead and demolish that then. Let's go ahead and I always like, once we demolish something, I really like to replace it with the exact same thing, like as soon as possible. Let's go ahead and put that down there. Maybe we can endeavor to get some more cutting camps somewhere up here. Yeah, that'll probably be a good idea. I'm gonna just throw that down there. An attractive land. Produce attractive zones. Vote on one decree. Trade with the outside world. Let's go ahead and unlock the next service building. Let's go ahead and unlock this building as well. Cool. We can try and set this up somewhere. This building is really a large building. Kind of annoying to have to try and... Ooh. Look at that. Might as well. So it's giving us health. Let's go ahead and do belonging, and I reckon creativity is going to be better for us. Cool, cool, cool. And the walls are finished. Our little population's looking really good right now. We also have access to, you can choose these down here to choose specific ones. We have this right here, so we need 800 wood for this. And then we can put down another one of these. That's giving us health and esteem. Let's consider it. Wouldn't it be a bad idea to put one here? We don't really have the room. We could demolish the one little farm right there. It's not really gonna reach though. Kind of like the idea of doing this spot. Let's go ahead and do that one there. Another faction. Perfect, that's the one we need. Cool, numbers are going up. We need belonging and creativity. So there was a cultural building that gave us those. We could also build this. The Ludus Magnus. What am I thinking here? 23 workers, 700 stone. Let's do the other one that I was going to do first. This building here. Looks like a rather sizable building, but that's okay. And in this moment, I am actually going to demolish up some of these fields. Just like that. Now we can put in this building. Cool. There's like just a sweet spot there. I'd rather not destroy a whole nother farm just for this, but... Ooh, perfect. Let's go ahead and do that. This one's giving us esteem. Let's go ahead and pick up the belonging and the creativity. That seems fine. As a matter of fact, let's destroy just a couple more of these fields. Just to give us some more room for potential districts. Let's see how far this is reaching. Okay. So I think it's going to be a good idea to destroy this field here. Place a surveyor's cabin in this area and then build a farm just outside the walls. That's going to be our next little goal here. Cool, cool, cool. Now we can do trade. Let's go ahead and do some trade. I've actually never done trades, so unlocked routes. Looks locked to me. So we could unlock these guys. Clay, sand, bricks, and tiles. These guys will buy wood from us, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's sell them all 160. And we'll gain a fair bit of money from that. Let's go ahead and set that up, yeah. Cool. I really like that. 300 gold coins is pretty good. So all of our farms should be deconstructed, and let's go ahead and put a surveyor cabin. Must be placed in the periphery. Oh, we didn't need to destroy that. Lol. That's fine. Let's go ahead and build that out here. As long as our food isn't going down, we're doing alright, so everything's fine. Way out here, we could also do another farm. Doesn't quite reach, though. An attractive land. All we need to do is vote on a decree. We just need one more cultural faction to move in. This quarry's run out of stuff. Let's switch them over to clay then. Cool. So, good enough. That means that we're actually not bringing in any sand. So, probably going to be a good idea to try and find some sand. Small quarry. No sand out there. We could get some sand here. Must not be inside of a dense forest. That is quite sad for us. We could do it right around here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do proximity, another cabin. Just like that, perfect. Ancient trade, cool. We found a ruin, and a lot of the times when I first started I would just simply upgrade these, but I think I'm actually going to demolish it. I don't really see the purpose. It's just going to create buildings that potentially you don't really want, so we'll skip over it for now. Let's go ahead and open up a small quarry here. 1700, and of course we'll look to upgrade it as soon as possible. Let's go ahead and get the improvement. Let's see what the number's up to. 3,000 more sand coming in, that's fine. This farm should be set up. Oh, we never set up a farm. And just like that, they should start really... Let's do another farm here. Just on the other side. That'll be a lot of area cleaved out. And just like this, we get our last political faction. Perfect. And let's go ahead and vote on a decree finally. So let's click on our Senate House. And just like this, as we can see, every single faction is part of the political faction, so we can do external recruitments, and there's a very high probability that this will work out for us. Let's do the maximum budget, and that's going to push this up to 100 turns. But I believe it's actually going to be even longer than that, so that's very, very good for us. So for over 100 turns, we're getting way more people moving in. Creativity. Esteem, yeah, decrease duration plus 35%. So we want to make sure our esteem's up. Cool, cool, cool. And this should go through relatively soon. Just like that, everyone voted on it. And now we have access to doing our first bit of wonders. So let's look at what we're going to need. The major thing that I've noticed is that they're going to need a lot of gold and a lot of workers. They take 250 turns, or cycles, but on top of that, if you start construction and then the age ends, the construction will still go through. So that's pretty important. And this is, to me, like the largest way to improve your reach for your little populations. So as you can see, this is all of our buildable area and this like gray zone, but you can imagine if all of this buildable area out here was accessible, that would be really good for us. So let's go ahead and set up this here, I think is what I'm kind of wanting. Let's go as far as we can while still covering everything. Yeah, I really like this spot. So let's go ahead and do that. And with all of our fancy blueprints coming in, let's see about actually trying to upgrade the architectural office. Let's see what we need. We have probably everything for it. Let's go ahead and quickly get that. I should have done this a long time ago, honestly. Yes, we have everything we need for it. That was a huge mistake by me because we're going to need lots of blueprints to actually start unlocking more and more wonders. But for now, we can at least get one more. Let's get the Trajan Forum. I kind of like this building, the way it looks. Let's go ahead and grab that. And then we're going to need lots and lots of gold. So let's actually look to start doing more and more selling of goods. Let's look at selling 500 of this. What does that give us? City cannot buy as many resources. What about 400? We get 800 gold coins from that. So let's go ahead and accept that. That's huge. I actually never really done trading, but that's a really easy way to start getting a lot of wonders very quickly. So really, the only thing we're waiting for the Trajan Forum is literally just more workers. And of course, our Senate is bringing in more immigrants, so that's going to work out really well for us. So to me, going with the political factions is what's going to allow you to build the most amount of wonders, allowing you to drastically expand your potential building areas. So I think we'll put the Trajan Forum up here, demolish up some of these farms, and then continue expanding out into just this area up here as much as possible. And then maybe we can do Circus Maximus over here. So then all we need is blueprints. Let's look at this. We need the 90 workers. I think that's what we're going to focus on next, is the 90 workers for that. So now it's just a waiting game of research points and workers. Workers are going to be imperative. We have around 500 cycles left before we need to have every single wonder put down. So that should give us ample time to get everything that we need. And with this trade, yeah, I'd never really done trade, but looks like it's going to net us some pretty good profit. 7,000 stone still in that quarry, so we shouldn't have too many issues with running out of stone. Trajan Forum's ready to go, but I do want to get the blueprints down first. So let's just wait. Cool, cool, cool. So it looks like we're probably going to actually get every single wonder finished. We also have all the service buildings down, which is good. And once we need to... How much longer? External recruitments. Yes, we'll redo that one as soon as we're able. Let's look at this. Call for appeasement. Suspends the effects of political faction tensions. No. Decrease of the sends. Esteem satisfaction. We could get that, but don't think it's too important for us. Let's go ahead and get this political faction to move in. Cool, cool, cool. More trade. We can purchase stuff. We don't really need to be purchasing anything. How much more stone are you guys willing to purchase? Can you guys buy 400? What about 450? What about 500? What about 475? 470? They will take 470. Let's go ahead and do that. Cool. We're almost up to the requisite 90 workers. Boom, 90 workers, and let's go ahead and improve this building here. Perfect. So now we're going to have our maxed out blueprint production, allowing us to research as many wonders as possible. We have a lot of workers moving in, allowing us to construct these wonders. Lots and lots of very good things. And we also have lots of gold coins, which is going to allow us to continue constructing wonders as well. So Trajan Forum should be up. There we go. Could do this one around here, and we're gonna need to deconstruct literally all of these farms though, but that's a-okay if you ask me. Kind of like, yeah, let's do it here. So let's deconstruct you. These are gonna take workers to actually go through and deconstruct this, which is kind of annoying, but necessary. That should be enough. Hopefully we don't start running into food issues. Shouldn't. One more in the middle. We do have the necessary blueprints for the next thing. Let's go ahead and let's get the statue of Zeus. Cool. Trajan Forum incoming. Very good. I really like this spot. Let's go ahead and build that on up. And we just need 24 more workers. We have the gold. We have everything else. And we can build the statue of Zeus. Probably somewhere out here. And then we can do the Circus Maximus. Probably like long ways here. And then I'm thinking statue of Zeus around here. And then once we have the necessary research points, we need just 2 more of those buildings. So hopefully we get the blueprints before the end of our first age. Things are looking up. Let's actually put down some farms to start cleaving out a lot of this land out here. Oh, we need the Trajan Forum to be up first. What am I thinking? These guys are trying to join. No thanks. We only want political factions. And we've ran out of our thing here. So let's go ahead and do another decree. External recruitments, another 100 days. Cooldown before you can run this decree again, 86 cycles. Okay, so there's a cooldown. Did not know that. That'll be fine. For the last like 100 cycles, we should still get that bonus. Pause, wonders, statue of Zeus, perfect. So I'm not sure exactly how I had this set up. I believe it's all of that. So let's do maybe something like this. Statue of Zeus right around here. I believe that'll work out good enough for us. Cool. Adomus. And by building up wonders for like the rest of your playthrough, you don't really need to worry about any of your satisfactions because the wonders are going to give huge bonuses to like all of your satisfactions. So once you sort of reach this point, you're sort of golden. Is this the passage of time? That's fine. So we have around 300 cycles left, and hopefully we generate enough research, enough blueprints for the final few. Can we do this again? No, 37 more cycles. So around 1,000 is when I'll look back. And just like this, we get our first wonder done. So that's really, really quite neat. All of these guys are being influenced by, or these two here, are being influenced by something that I don't want, which is the Commerce factions, we'll ignore it for now though. I believe we have the research for the next one, Circus Maximus. Let's go ahead and buy you. And then we just need Library of Alexandria, 2200 blueprints, and we have that. So let's put down these Circus Maximus if we can. And it looks like we are able. What an insane building. Let's see, so if this one goes to there, I do want it to be... I wonder if this is how big like the actual Circus Maximus was. I believe this was a real building, right? Yeah, I reckon this is good enough. I'm content with that. Seems fine. Let's go ahead and construct that there. Cool. So we're getting like this entire area open for potential improvements as time goes on. There still is an improvement that we could have done here. We're using a lot of our resources though. Yeah, we would have needed to construct more, what's it called? More of the carpentry buildings, more of the carvers, because as you can see we need over 400, or around 400, and we can't produce more than 300. And the way you can increase your storage for these resources up here is by constructing more of those buildings, but that's okay. I mean, I don't think it's too big of a deal. Let's see what it gives us. Radius, a radius extension, and then more attraction. Not super duper important. We do have the actual 2,000 inhabitants that we would have needed for it, but that is quite alright. So let's see, we have 250 cycles left and one last wonder to construct. Let's do another Thermae. Ah yes, look at that. Cool. Yeah, we will accept those guys. Go ahead and put that down there. Let's do another cultural building. Let's do this one, and I want to do it around here. Ah, they sprung up literally right as I was going to place it. How unfortunate. That's okay though, we can put it here. That would have been actually a really good spot for it, but because it would have influenced that district there, but that's okay. And yes, very, very cool. So we're getting very, very close to actually having every single wonder put down and having as much land as possible to us exposed. Very cool to see. Food's still doing fine. 2,000 inhabitants, lots of people moving in. What's that noise? What was that noise? New wonder? Did another wonder finish? No, I don't think so, right? Circus, what's this? Cultural influence. Oh, okay. So... the reserve. Right here. Okay, so we made it up to Civitas. Wonders bonus, plus 16.5, trust bonus. We're probably definitely not going to make it any further than this. I think that if we would have had a lot more different factions and stuff, like if we would have been accepting all of them, you'll make it further down this, but I mean, I think we're doing alright. Cool. We're in like 4th place out of 31, I think. That's fine. Let's look at where people want to move in. So here, around here-ish. It's all looking pretty good. I would rather people move in here, but kind of doesn't look like they want to. And we almost have enough blueprints for the final wonder. Really cool to see. Wow, we're actually doing it. Making it quite far. No, thanks. Library of Alexandria. Oh, look, we can buy it. So let's go ahead and buy that. And let's start the construction of our last wonder, Library of Alexandria. Oh, we're actually like 10 cycles short of actually getting this all set up before the end of the actual era. I'm kind of thinking that we can do out in this direction wouldn't be a bad idea. Let's go ahead and do that. And then let's do some small farms here. Let's do potentially one here. Let's do another one potentially here. And then let's do, yeah, another one out here. Cool. New senators, faction installation, everything's looking good. So I think that we're poised to simply play the last little bit of this out on the max setting. So they're going to spend a bunch of time out here, constructing up a bunch of farms, cleaving down forest, which is really nice for us. Once all of these different buildings are done, then we're going to do even more and more farms until, ooh, the Trajan Forum's done. Let's go ahead and start building some farms out here to cleave even more land out of our way. Doesn't look like we have much room. Let's demolish this one on up. Perfect. What is this? New wonder. Cool. So yeah, I wasn't like the most efficient for this first little era here. And if you would have been even more efficient, not only would your little town look probably even better than this, but you would also have gotten even more points than me. All the wonders would have been done in this first place. One of our farms ran out of space. That's fine. New wonder finished. Cultural influence. A new carnival. So now we have the statue of Zeus finished. So let's go ahead and do even more small farms. Can do one here, max out the amount of farms that they're going to construct, and let's do another one. I reckon out here is probably fine. Cool. Let's go on the maxed out speed again. And what's pretty nice is that we just get to simply save all of our blueprints and gold for the next era. Who's this? Faction installation? No thank you. This building has ran out of potential space, but that's fine. Can we get rid of that? No. That's okay though. Let's come up here and see how they're doing out here. Oh, we destroyed that little farm, so let's do this, do that. Perfect. More decorative stuff. We got the I can't speak. Like with all these Latin things and Greek things, I just cannot pronounce them. But yeah, it's a little plaza here, but I'm not really too focused on that right now. Would rather try and cleave out as much land as possible before the end of this first little era. So let's go ahead and demolish you. Let's go ahead and demolish... Well, let's wait. See if they carve out a bit more in that direction. I already started. Oh, no. Cool. Do that one there. A new wonder is finished. Which one? Circus Maximus? Is that the one that is just finished? So yeah, as we can see, my building area is pretty massive. Things are looking pretty good for us. Lots and lots of food, almost 3K. Population moved in. Pretty good to see. Let's demolish this one here. We have 50 cycles left, so what I do want to do is actually find a new area to sort of cleave out and make it our, like the area that we're going to use for our next, what's it called? Our next city center. Oh, they used that area up right as I was about to. So let's go ahead and determine where exactly we want this to be. I'm kind of thinking in this area would probably be good. So let's see, who are you influenced by and who is controlling these farms is my question. It's not you, it's this farm here. So let's go ahead and demolish you. And then demolish all of these farms here. Demolishing a lot of farms like on the same turn has made my game crash in the past, so just be careful when you're doing this. What is this? This is a brickworks. Let's go ahead and actually demolish you as well. And let's look to move you somewhere else. Brickworks. Let me just throw you out here for now. I always like replacing buildings once I deconstruct them. And so this entire area here we'll use for the next age. We'll have a lot of brand new space for that. Pretty exciting stuff. We're deconstructing this. And we can put down another small farm here. If we're quick enough. Going to deconstruct you. Carve out yet another swath. I think one more farm and we'll be looking right. One more small farm should do the trick. Perfect. So now, I'm content with the amount of farms that are probably going to spring up out here. And everything's just looking perfect. Yeah, like our area of influences are massive. So, pretty good to see. I'll go ahead and decline you guys. And yeah, I think that's going to be sort of the end of our little episode here, is make it into the next age. And yeah, it's been lots of fun. We have 200 spare workers, almost 3K inhabitants. No space left for this, but that's fine. Not terribly worried about that. No space left for you. Why not? I think there is space. I think they're lying to me. And as a matter of fact, let's actually go through and just demolish up every single last one of these fields. Oh, and we're into the next era. Cool. The world is changing, and it's time to change with it. Customs are changing in the regions, towns, clothes are adorned with gems, embroidery, and elaborate jewelry. New hairstyles appeared, and new dishes were placed on the tables. Religion changed, and rituals evolved with it. Laws are more framed. The civic life differs from previous cycles. You can now begin your transition to the Middle Ages, but beware, the buildings will no longer be the same, politics will change, and the demands of your citizens will evolve. The choices you make will be decisive in shaping the future of your town. Cool. Change age. Perfect. So as we can see, this is everything that we got done. That's annoying, that's stuck in the way. And the major thing is that we got a lot of, oh, it doesn't even show us our, what's it called? Yeah, as you can see, purple, we're mostly focusing on the political faction buildings. The threat of Macedonia. You supported the Greek cities in their defense against the kingdom of Macedonia. The troops were so galvanized and the battles so grandiose, I can't speak, that your common enemies still shudder, but now the Hellenic kingdom, formed by the Greek cities, is dreaming of conquest. We could strengthen our alliance by striking at the target of the Greek cities, Rome. The advantages are numerous, politically, commercially, and militarily, but on the other hand, who could stop the Greek rulers if not you? The world could well change drastically depending on your involvement. Choose wisely. I kind of like the idea of supporting Rome. Yeah, let's do this one actually. Let's condemn. Let's condemn Rome. Cool. And so we made 86 score points from this. So we made it to the end of age. We built 4 out of the 5 wonders. Cultural influence level was 5 out of 7, so we made some decent points there. Downtown level, we needed to upgrade the downtown building, so these are all little tips that you could definitely be picking up on. If we would have got the other wonder finished, like just a couple turns sooner, we would have had that. Cultural influence level, a bit hard to pull off. Maybe I could have accepted like just a couple other factions and started getting our cultural influence higher sooner. Downtown level, all I would have needed to do is construct more carvers and carpentries and then upgrade this. Average faction trust 95%. If it would have been a little bit higher, then we would have made antiquities score at 100, which would have been really cool. Let's continue. Family interlude. It's been hundreds of years since the family has had a notable leader, but that hasn't stopped it from remaining in control of the town. To make the best of it, she thought it best to focus on... Let's do convictions to defend. Start with an additional political plan, additional trust boost on political factions, and 50 coins. So we get to choose something else as well. We could either do military or religion is kind of what I'm thinking. Maybe production. You know what? I think we're going to go with military. Yeah, let's go ahead and do military. The erosion of time, we get to keep 2 buildings. Not the most important of things. Let's keep the form running, I suppose. And let's do this building here. Yes. Cool. And as for our destiny, you're faced with a choice to continue in the footsteps of your ancestors or embark on a completely new life path. Now, I'm not sure, but I believe if we choose something else, then... Oh yes, look at that. So we're choosing like the second thing. That's pretty cool. So because we were previously politician, we get these 2 additional options here. But if we choose over to something new, then it gives us something from them. It looks like their beginning start like decision, their little bonuses here. That's really quite good. So incidents are 20% less likely to occur and spread. That could be really good, because we'll have additional decrees and then less incidents, really good. We could also get regular offerings, which could be good. Cultural buildings offer 15% more satisfactions, could be really good. Cost of corruption, decrees can be cancelled and the amount invested would be refunded. Trade routes generate passive income when caravans travel. Natural resources are 25% more abundant. That could be really good too, just so that we have more forever. I think that's the one we're actually going to go with. Cool, start of the Middle Ages. I guess demolish that. Medieval City Center. Let's go ahead and place this next to... here, I reckon that's a good spot. Cool. And just like that, we are into the Middle Ages. Really exciting stuff. Lots and lots of money saved up, lots of blueprints saved up, lots and lots of really cool stuff. Let's look at our potential build zones here. Look at that. Quite a massive amount of building that we can do. We also have a bunch of surveyors' cabins. We can demolish some of the old ones. Let's go ahead and get those underway. Oh wow, 240 workers? Oh, 7 workers. Yeah, let's get that out of the way. Potentially this one over here we don't really need anymore as well. Let's demolish that one. Do we need this one? I don't think so. So that is, we only have 2 more left standing. Let's go ahead and demolish this one. And there's one more. I'm not entirely sure where this last one is. Where did we construct it at? I feel like I put it along this wall somewhere. No way that I put it out here, right? Surveyor's cabin, cool. Go ahead and demolish that one up as well. So we have all of our surveyor's cabins. Everything's looking tip-top. Still 6,000 stone on this deposit. We have probably a lot of other... we have 500 clay there. And then 2,000 clay here. We could probably build another one maybe just outside of the town here. Get more clay from this deposit. Potentially spread our wings. Maybe try and move across the water could be cool. But yeah, lots and lots of really cool stuff's happened. I wonder if there is a key binding for cinematic mode. That would be really cool. City view, toggle filters, tab. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Okay, so if you hit tab, you can get a sense of various things. Oh, look at that. There's all of our factions. What is currently being imposed upon our people. Attraction. I did not know any of this. That's really quite cool. Oh, their trust is like super low. I wonder why. Yeah, all of them have like the lowest amount of trust. That's not good. We can't even go look at them, right? Oh no, it's maxed out. I don't know why I would say that it wasn't. Anyways. Yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like. And if you want to follow along with the rest of these series, I'm going to be playing this game quite a bit more. And just seeing how far we can make it with this current city. So hopefully it turns out really, really quite well in the end. And I'm going to be uploading lots and lots of other content on other games very similar to this one. Yeah, this game's been sort of a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. Man, too bad there's not a way to turn off all of the HUD. I don't think that there's going to be. Yes, this is pretty much all we get. But yeah, if you want to stick around and check out the series as we continue, I might even go through and try and do like all sorts of other little special things, like a full military playthrough. I can sense that this game has sort of like a lot of, like, it's got a very sturdy foundation. A lot can be done with this game, and I really hope that the developers turn this game into something really quite cool. Like, just as an example, your palisade actually will deter barbarian invasions, which aren't implemented in the game. There's lots of things that aren't quite implemented, but hopefully they will be, and we'll get to see lots of really cool stuff in the future. But yeah, peace.